guys, Kanani here with Little Honeybee Homeschooling. So today I got in my Ancestry DNA kit. That's probably backwards on y'all's in there if y'all can't read it. Anyways, so I am gonna go ahead and get this sent in. Well, we're gonna do it first and then get it sent in. So I will have a clip. So if you want to see how this whole thing works, I'm actually gonna be showing the results as well. So you actually won't see this whole clip until everything comes back in, but from beginning to end you'll see my Ancestry DNA test. Okay guys, so here is the Ancestry box. I went ahead and took off the plastic film so just to show you what it looks like. Welcome to Ancestry DNA. So we're gonna activate this kit online, gather simple. This took about, I'm gonna say maybe a week to come in, maybe 5 days to come in because when I ordered it. Okay, so keep the instruction card with you, important documents. So let's just check out what important documents they have. And I'm sorry guys, I lost my tripod and I have one on order, so it'll be here within like 2 days with the Prime. So we have to activate our Ancestry DNA activate.com, which I already have an account, so I don't think I'll really have to do that. We'll have to enter the 15-digit activation code from the tube. Gather the DNA. So it looks like fill the tube with saliva to the black wavy line. So I'm gonna have to spit in this tube. That's kind of gross. Replace the funnel with the cap. Remove funnel from the tube. Screw in close cap. Tightly release solution. Tightly squeeze. Destabilizing fluid. You know when it works when the blue solution from the cap has emptied into the tube. 5 seconds. Shake the tube for at least 5 seconds. Place the tube in the collection bag, mail in your sample. So that all sounds pretty easy, so let's get to it. Oh, well, let me show you what else comes in here, just in case. So here is the collection bag, so that way you kind of already see what's in here. And then cap tube. So, okay, so here's a tube. Wow, that's a lot of spit. That is a lot of spit. Like, look at that, guys. That is a lot of spit there that we have to put in here. Ooh. Okay, and then comes the little box that you can send everything back in. So, let's get to it. Yep, that's gross, guys. Okay, so we're filling up there, and that actually looks pretty good. And I'm not even sure if my bubbles count as saliva, or if I should just keep going to liquids. But we're gonna let that set for a second. Okay, so we have replaced the tube part with the actual. This had a little solution in it, which it's all come in now, and now it's just asked us to shake it for 5 seconds here. I'm kind of in the sun and whatnot, so we're just shaking it for at least 5 seconds. It's definitely been more than 5 seconds already. So, and that just releases it, and then so it's all mixed in. We have our bubbles there and our solution. So we are now gonna just put this in our collection bag. It says place in the tube in the collection bag, mail your sample. That's it, guys. Okay, let's get this mailed out. Okay, guys, so once your Ancestry thing comes up, you'll get an email, and then it shows you that your DNA results are in. So I'm using my tablet here so that way I can show it to you. So we're gonna explore my DNA results here. So I'm kind of excited. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't know what this says, guys. It's been 3 days that I actually got my test in, and I've already seen the results. So I am kind of excited. So here we go. So when you get your results, I'm going to try to show this the best I can on here. My DNA story, which gives you, so apparently my ethnicity estimate is 56% Native American, 17% Arabian Peninsula, and 11 other regions. So here's the DNA. Which is, again, I'm taking this one with a grain of salt just because they said, I've seen several ones where like they've done a whole bunch of different ones as far as people who are like super related or even twins, and they got different things. I'm sorry, a little bit shaky. So we put got it. We learn about the results. Let's update some more here. Don't need to update. So here we go. So Native American, and then it gives you where they mean for as far as your Native American. A lot of people forget Mexico is actually part of Northern America. So here we go. So it's northeastern Mexico and South Texas is where my Native American side comes in from. Then my Arabian Peninsula, that's going to be over here in this section, and Great Britain 10%. And the rest, everything else I had, my low confidence, which it does give you, was less than like 3% to even 1%. African Southeastern Bantu was only 2%, African North less or 2%, and everything else was less than even 1% of what I had in me. So it is funny to like see that you have all these difference, and it does definitely makes you realize how we're all really just mixed. So it's not even that there's only a certain percentage of us. So right here, Northern American, 52 to 58% of Northeastern America. So let's get off this screen real quick. Go down, and here we go. So right here, it'll have it highlighted for me. Let me just click this real quick. Sorry guys. Native American, up to date. Okay, so I clicked the Native American side, so it's going to show me, and like it said, it was just, you know, basically South Texas and northeastern Mexico, which is perfect because actually I live right in South Texas. So, and I was born and pretty much raised in South Texas, so I knew that. And then as far as my Arabian, the other percentage, again, here we go, in Great Britain, up here. So here's the Arabian Peninsula, which is right in this one, which is Spain, guys. It's just a fancy word for Spain, basically. There's Spain, and then my Great Britain side that was 10% is only right here. I'll show you that right now. Thankfully, my what's that thing called? I homeschool my children. Most of y'all know that. So we do a lot of geography, so I'm able to actually know where a majority of the stuff is. And yep, just like I said, there's Great Britain right in this area, so that's kind of where a lot of my percentage came from, or 10% of it came from. So okay, now back to that part. There it goes. Okay, so this is the fun part. This is the DNA matching, DNA matches. So I matched to over, I think, like 400 matches. So like I said, this is already like the 4th day I'm on it. So I have been researching and getting more information on, because my whole purpose of getting this thing done was to finding out who my grandfather was. And it's just because I've always really wanted a last name. Not that I'm not grateful for the one I have. So here we go. Right here, it'll tell me 2 shared ancestor hits, 2 starred matches, and then 500 fourth cousins. The starred matches are ones that I match just because I know who they are family wise, and I wanted to make sure I match those through. So 500 fourth cousins, 500 fourth cousins or closer. So that's pretty neat. So when you view your DNA match, you can star, these are going to be your new ones, and then those are hints on them. I love looking at them. Here is, as you can see, there's one of them right there. That is actually my great aunt on my dad's side, and then I have a cousin, and as you can see, they rank right in their first second cousins. So totally believe everything I'm getting extremely high, it tells you, so you're able to see that. Then we come down and it'll give you same thing. She was a first second cousin, second to third cousin. She is a great cousin of mine as far as that goes. So this person has to be like a great cousin, first or second cousins. If you wanted to, with the same person right here, you can click your shared matches. So any cousins that are related to you and her, y'all have the same blood. Here's another cousin of mine. She is one of my aunt's daughters, or one of my great aunts, because my grandma is her aunt, or her great aunt too. So there's one. This is another cousin of mine, which I need to star those. I'll go ahead and star those because I actually know them. Now here comes fourth cousins. These people I don't know. I have been messaging some of them just to see how we fall in line, and some of them do offer for you to have in their tree. So as you can see, all these people are related to us through and once you get down here to fourth and sixth cousins, it's good confidence. So these people are still have the same DNA as you. It's very fourth cousins. And I'm going to show you how great this thing is, because let's go back here. I hate that I kind of block the screen when I'm showing y'all, but this is the only angle I could get and show you at the same time, so that way I could see. Let's go back to view all DNA matches here. So start some of them. I've already contacted these ones here, and we actually are related on a few things. So let me show you what I found. This name keeps coming up on a lot of them, and when you click it, you can go through and you can find out that those people are somehow related to you. Here's a cousin of mine that I just met. Again, we have shared matches, and this is the only reason I found out that this person I didn't know was related to me was because, or no, they are related to me, but I wasn't aware of them, and I knew it had to be somebody from my grandpa's side that I wasn't, that, again, I don't know him. So these are our shared matches. So I went through them to double check, make sure none of these were shared matches through my dad's side. Now that I've shown you how to, like once you get your ancestry results back in, how simple it is to do your test, and then how simple it is to send it in, then you just wait. And as you can see in the beginning of my video, I sent mine at the middle of March. It is now April, actually almost around the same time. So it did take about roughly 4 to 5 weeks, give or take, to get my results back, and I received them online. I am not sure if I am going to receive anything paper-wise on my results. I do know that I believe they said that they do send something like that, but for majority of the point, they'll always have access to those results online on your Ancestry site. Now, like mentioned before, when I did this, it was not to see if I was half black or half white or Asian or Irish or anything. It was not for that reason. I've known I'm Mexican since like day one, and so I know it's like a mixed race, so I could be anything. So that wasn't a culture shock for me or anything. My main reasoning was because I was hoping that when I would get my results, it would lead me to find out who my grandfather is on my dad's side. My dad grew up not knowing who his dad is, and I remember when I was younger, we would ask like, who's our grandpa, and he would say he didn't know, and neither did my grandma, just wouldn't say at that time who it was. So for whatever reason, since I was younger, it's been a very long time, and those who know me, those who have been part of my life since I was little, have always known that there's always been a part of me that has always wanted to know. And reason being is because on my mother's side, I only have her maiden name. For the longest time, I only had her maiden name, and then on my dad's side, the only maiden name. I didn't know my grandfather on either side of the family. It wasn't until a few years ago that I actually asked my grandma on my mom's side who my grandfather was, and she told me. And why I didn't think like beforehand, but it was just, I have 4 children now, and slowly it's just always keeps coming back, like it never fails. So, I'm doing really good, and then I don't know why I don't know what it is that I have to know, I need to know. And thankfully when I asked her on my mom's side, she was, she told me who he was. I was able to find him. I was able to connect, at that time I wasn't on Ancestry. I was able to connect through Facebook, one of my aunts, and she was great. They were great. I've gone and seen him only about twice. I try to go a little bit, when I go in, hopefully I want to try going more, and I have taken my children so they can meet them as well. It's just something, just so they can meet them and get to know them, and then know that that's actually my grandfather. So it's been a pretty good experience. And again, that wasn't through Ancestry, that was through Facebook, and then my grandmother being willing to tell me exactly who my grandfather was. And it just wasn't that she didn't want to tell me, as I never asked, and that was the case. So now when it comes back to my dad's side of the family, my grandma on that side would not say who my grandfather is for whatever reason. Now that I have the results, I know why she didn't say. So it's a bit shocking, because the only people that I lined up to were people that on my dad's side or on my mom's side nobody matched to. So I knew it was going to be my dad's father, and I was like, okay, so these people are related to me. They have very strong chances of being related to me. I somehow am related to these. So of course, like I showed you on the thing, I messaged them, and in doing that, I actually got someone messaging me back. this cousin of mine is like distant or not, or on there I think it says third or fourth cousin maybe, or maybe fourth or fifth. So to me that's kind of considered distant, even though on their side distance actually like eighth cousin. Well, anyways, we were able to compare trees, and funny that on one of his trees he was related to a cousin of mine. He was related to a cousin, and I go, wait, hold on, these cousins are my cousins from my dad's side. How are you related to them? And nothing was matching up. Like, he was related to them, but then how would I be related to him if they weren't related? I was only related to them by the mom's side, and he was related to them by the dad's side. And that's when you kind of just put two and two together. And actually, the only other thing that is a few months ago, my biological sister, I don't know if that's even a term, biological, we have the same mom and dad, his sister had given me some information, and I just took it with a grain of salt and just pushed it aside and said like, okay, whatever. I didn't believe it, didn't want to believe it, I guess, just because, I mean, I know these people, and I would think if they knew something, or like somebody had to have said something, like I didn't understand. And especially now, everybody's older. My grandma's like way in her 60s, and it's like, why such a like secrecy? But I did find out my grandma did in fact have a child with her sister's husband. So that's the big wow. But I guess I'm not too shocked about it, just because it is 2018, and I hate that term. I really hate when people excuse something just because it's 2018, because it's not something I would do. But I wasn't there in those situations. I don't know the circumstances it was under. I don't believe it was something that was forced upon or anything like that. But it was days where when someone was married, they stayed with their wife. It wasn't they left just because they had an illegitimate child with somebody. Those were those kind of days from way back when. So I found him within 4 days. I know who it is. I've only met that person once in my life, just because he was already part of our family. I actually met him. I know of him, and I've met him once or twice. I never suspected anything at that point. I was really little. But it is shocking in a way, because a lot of my biological fathers, I want to say like trouble, was because he always wanted to know, and he would constantly tell us when we were younger, and these were on days that he wasn't having a good day, and he would just tell me that he was sorry that he couldn't be who he wanted to be, because he always had these thoughts that, you know, if he just had his dad, which it's kind of sad, because he had my grandpa, which is my great grandpa, actually, was the one who raised him, and he was a good man, my great grandpa, and he took us in and he raised us when my dad would be off on his bad days and off doing God knows what. And so he didn't have a bad life at home, but for whatever reason, that he wanted, he couldn't get. And it's really upsetting. And I fell out with my dad a long time ago. And it hurts me that I don't have any feelings for my dad. Like, I really don't. I don't know him anymore. I've stopped knowing him when I was a child. And that's not why I'm crying today. I'm crying because it upsets me that to think that if I had ever been in that situation, or one of my kids would have been in one of those situations, that this person or this child of mine, the life they lived as a young person, always being left out or not knowing, and though everybody else around him knew the truth, nobody could just give him what he wanted and just tell him like if it was that bad of a deal, when it wasn't. Like, they were gonna treat him that way. He should have just known the truth. And I feel like that led a lot to his way of living, his problems and whatnot. But I'm not excusing any of the things he did, because like I said, I fell out a long time ago, because on my dad's bad days, it wasn't him. It wasn't the dad I knew when I was a lot younger. He changed to a completely different person, and he was constantly coming back to, well, if I just knew, or they would just tell me, he never asked his mom. I'm not sure what that was from, the fact that he could never ask his mom. I did. I asked my grandma constantly, all the time. I've always asked her who my grandfather is, because I've always wanted to know just the last name. And I don't know if that's just been put, if I've just have always had this thing just because he always talked about it all the time to us. But so I've always asked her, and she just tells me I don't need to know, and I need to not worry about it. So that was one of my main reasons to it, and I did it, and it's not that big of a deal. It wasn't that big of a deal. And to know that somebody suffered the way they did because somebody couldn't say something, it's horrible. And I still can't deal with it. I mean, I've known for like I said, it took me like 4 days to figure it out. And just following lines or whatever. And I've made more connections since. Even today I made another connection, and it just confirms everything that's possible. And I want nothing to do with them. I know them. I haven't been close to them for a long time, even though we are family from my aunt's side, which is his wife, which is my grandma's sister. I want nothing from them. All I've ever wanted was a last name, and that just being because I've always had a strong feeling that I've never had that mate. I've never had the name that you're given. You're given your name from your father, and the fact that he never had his, I knew it wasn't mine either. I'm sorry, I have to stop just for a second just to refocus, because I don't want it to become this sadness of a video, because this is definitely not the type of videos I put on my channel, but this is definitely a video I want to put out to let you know. This is not sponsored by Ancestry either, but just to let you know that if you're out there looking for something, you want to know more about your, say, just like where you came from, maybe your great-grand. I have found great-great-great-grandparents from both sides of my family on there, and it's amazing to just see it. And like, I can connect. Like, I didn't realize my great-grandma was named after her great-grandma. Like, I've always thought that was an unusual name. Well, yeah, it came from her great-grandma, so it's really neat. I think it's a wonderful site. I feel like it's worth what you pay for. I know they have like bigger packages, or like I keep saying like, not bigger packages, but there's more search. Like, I don't have the basic, but I don't have like the most expensive. So if I was to get it, there's like more detail you can find into things. I guess you get more record access, which I don't have that right now. But I did what I needed to do for my contentment. And even though I've already found what I'm looking for, I am very grateful that there's sites out there like this that can give you like really good data and really good information. I'm definitely going to look up my tree. I'm definitely putting something together on there. I will leave access for my children so that way they can look these things up. And I just can't tell you how happy I am. Regardless of the tears you see, I know it's going to take me a little bit just to get used to it. And like I said, it's not because of like I found these people and I want to know more about them, or I don't want anything to do with them at all. What I do want for myself is I got it. It's good. My children will know where they came from. Know, like, I live in a small town as well, and will know that some of this family here, they really cannot be near, just because of, if I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't want my children to grow up and marry actually one of their cousins, just because someone was afraid to say, oh, actually, hey, they're your dad, or that's your cousin, So that was one of my main reasons, besides just my own knowledge of always wanting to know my name and my last name. And now that I do, I'm very grateful, and I'm grateful and I'm sad at the same time, just because, like I said, there's something my biological father has always wanted to know. And though we fell out, it's something that I hope now, he did pass away years back, and I hope that when he had passed away, I hope when he got up to heaven that he was able to actually know more about himself and find through Christ and everything, just be back to his normal, because he always, you know, he fell far from reality. But that's it, guys. That's all I want to let you know, that if you are out there looking for someone, I'm sorry if I looked away. My camera's constantly on this side and I'm so used to it, so I glare off. Definitely check out Ancestry.com. Like I said, this is not a sponsored video, and this is just one video on my channel. I am a homeschooling mom of 4 kids, and constantly you will see homeschooling videos, DIYs and whatnot. This is just a surreal video that I had to post because I wanted to give you a look at how the Ancestry DNA testing works, and actually the results you do find can be life-changing. For me, they're not life-changing, but I hope for you that they will, you know, if this video will inspire you to go and look for things. And though it does not matter what other people think, I know some of my family is not happy with what I did, and I'm okay with that. I haven't had connections with the family forever, so and I know that the people that I have now are always my family and have been really great to me. So I'm not in a way looking for a new family. I have what I need. Regardless of the situation these DNA tests put you in, people, the fact is DNA does not lie. It is a test. It works. And if you want results, I would definitely look into them. They are definitely one of the ones on the cheaper side, but they work. And that's my results. Again, sorry for this type of video. You probably won't see anything else like this on my channel anytime soon. So again, we'll see y'all next time, guys. Bye.